my older brother, Moses, he's in Hawaii. He's pastoring the church there. And then I have my younger brother who is, he's in California. Him and his wife they're not pastoring a church, but they are doing ministry there as well. And then my 3 younger siblings, they're in American Samoa helping with the church there. So yeah, we're pretty much all a part of, church ministry life.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode on the Super D podcast. And my name is Starr, as always, your host. And as always, again, I said that twice, but with me, Miss Kaleo in the building. What's going on, Kaleo? Why are you laughing?
You are so great.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. We appreciate you guys coming through. We have a special guest in the building. But before we get to that, I would like to appreciate you guys for watching and listening to the podcast. If you guys enjoy what you guys are listening and watching, go ahead and comment down below. Share it wherever you want to share it on your social platforms. Go ahead and like this video on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel and hit that notification button so that you don't miss any episode. And if you guys are on Spotify, it is video, so you guys can watch it from there. Go ahead and rate the show. And thank you to our sponsors again. Okoa Ohana. This is another shirt right here. Look at that ramen bowl. It's pretty cool.
Oh my
design,
gosh.
Huh?
I
Right?
love that.
Right? So Okoa Ohana, they have different designs, and I'm trying to show you guys every design that they was able to send me, and I still got to send you one of the shirts, Kaleo, but I'll get you there.
Slacking.
Hey,
Slacker McSlacker.
Hey, relax. But yeah, thank you, Okoa Ohana, for sponsoring this episode. If you guys want to check out their merch, go to okoaohana.com and use the discount code Supastarrtv for a 15% off discount.
Whoop, whoop.
Nice.
Let's go. So without further ado, we're going to get started with this episode. We have a special guest again. I said that twice, so I got to stop repeating myself. But
It's fine.
Before I bring it in, Kaleo, you want to say anything to the millions of viewers that we have watching?
Hi.
All right.
Nope,
All
I
right.
don't. Hello. Hi. How are you?
Sounds good. Sounds good. All right, let's bring this guest on in because we have a lot to talk about, and I do want to introduce her as I bring her in. So she is the one, the only Miss Siai Katina Gapelu, who is my cousin, who is one of my favorite cousins. You guys didn't hear that? But yeah, she is a stay-home mom slash she's a stay-home mom slash pastor. So Siai, welcome on into the building. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I don't know what crickets.
Silence.
Hey, be like that sometimes. But
Good. That was a good intro, Starr. You guys sound great. Really? I was like, wow.
Oh no, he got a compliment.
yay, I got a compliment. Yo, people don't compliment me, and all they do is diss me. Especially, we don't want to go back to what we was talking about before, right, Kaleo?
Hey.
That's
Calm
why.
down.
That's why I said.
Calm down.
That's why I said you. That's what I said. What I said. If you guys are watching, any family member that's watching and you didn't hear what I said, then sorry about it. I said it.
Yeah.
But we have a lot to talk about, a lot of questions. Yeah, any shout outs, or actually, you know what? Let's just go with tell us a little bit, about yourself, who, your name, as I already mentioned it, but your family, you got kids, where you're from, where you grew up, where you live at now, all that stuff.
Yes. So I grew up in Hawaii, and we lived in Ewa Beach pretty much our whole lives. But fast forward to today, I'm now married. We have my husband and I, Phil and I, we have 5 girls, and we live on the 9th island, what they call it, Las Vegas. We're here, and we moved here 6 years ago. I homeschool my girls, but my husband and I both pastor a church, mostly Polynesian church here in Las Vegas. So that's what brought us here.
Nice. Was it? Sorry. Go ahead, Kaleo.
I was just saying that's cool.
Oh. So you said that's what brought you guys there. Was it to open a church, or was it, was it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was to we actually we have a bigger church. It's called, kind of like what we were talking about earlier. It's an umbrella of different churches that we have across in American Samoa, in Hawaii, New Zealand, Australia, California, and Las Vegas is one of the younger churches. And so yeah, my parents are the senior pastors of our church. And then when they started one here in Las Vegas, they were looking for pastors who can run the church here. And so that's where my husband and I came into play. So that's what brought us here to Vegas.
Nice. Pretty cool. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm over here saying it's pretty cool. Like, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that, so that's pretty cool.
No, yeah, definitely is cool. One more fast question before we go into a little fun part of the episode. Correct me if I'm wrong. All of your siblings are pastors in different churches, right? Of the umbrella, the parent church,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, well, not all of them. My older brother, Moses, he's in Hawaii. He's pastoring the church there. And then I have my younger brother who is, he's in California. Him and his wife they're not pastoring a church, but they are doing ministry there as well. And then my three younger siblings, they're in American Samoa helping with the church there. So yeah, we're pretty much all a part of, church ministry life.
Right. Oh,
Wow.
and just to, do you want to touch up on, because like it's not just your immediate family, like your whole other family too, is like is in the church and the religious part of things, right? Like your uncles, right?
My uncles, they are a well-known Christian Polynesian band called the Katinas. And those are my dad's younger brothers. And so, yes, they are also traveling the world, doing ministry work as well. So it's just a big family affair all across the board. And we love it. We love what we do.
Let's get on to Kaleo's favorite part. We'll do questions roulette, and then we'll do some one must goes.
Okay.
You got That's our favorite. So yeah, questions roulette is based super simple. Kaleo's gonna, fly questions to you one by one, and you're just gonna
Just
answer
try to
it.
answer them as quick as possible.
Okay.
They're really easy. Nothing, no high pressure questions. Just
Okay.
like, are you ready? Like hot dogs or burgers?
Oh, burgers.
Would you rather control fire or control water?
Oh, fire.
Live in cold weather or hot weather?
Hot.
Netflix or YouTube? Which is weird. I would have said Netflix or like Hulu or Vudu, but whatever. This is the Starr picks these. Don't judge him. Netflix. Okay. Apple or Android?
Apple.
Okay.
Ooh.
City life or country life?
City life.
Okay. Never need to sleep or never need food?
Oh, never need to sleep.
Okay. Comedy or drama movies?
Comedy.
Pancakes or waffles?
Pancakes.
Mountains or beaches?
Beaches.
Invisibility or time travel?
Oh, invisibility.
Man, okay, we are not on a good start here, ma'am.
It's usually whatever whoever the guest that comes on is like similar to what Kaleo would answer.
Oh, really?
Completely, like not like.
Sorry, Kaleo.
I think you were most shocked of the city life, right?
I was, yeah. Yeah, I don't know why, but yeah.
Yeah. I feel like it's because I've grown up on an island my whole life, and I don't know.
Basically, country life. If you know you're on the island, right?
Right. So I love the city life.
What stands out in the city life like so far from what you've experienced so far?
I think the fast paced life, because I I'm that's how I am. Like I really love things to just keep going and not I mean, of course I'll take a little bit of time to slow down, but I feel like I've grown up on that my whole life, like the slow life. And so yeah, that's what I love most about city life.
Makes sense. Makes sense. I work in downtown Portland, so I'm like, no, I'm good. I don't want any more city life. I'm good.
Yeah.
Country all day, every day.
But where in the country, you know? Like cowboy country or like Kahuku side country? You
Two
know,
total different
two
things.
total different, you know what I
Total
mean?
different things. But
So-
not cowboy.
I was,
No,
I was
I'm
gonna say you're gonna answer.
good.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I think it would be cool though, you know, just to. I mean, cause like actually, you know, some
I
of the.
grew up in cowboy country. I'm
Ah.
good.
Oh, okay. That's understandable. Because I was gonna say like a lot of people in Kahuku side, they actually kind of like very similar to like the cowboy type of country. You know, they got the farms, they got the ranch with the horses and the sheeps and the cows. So it's very similar, but it's like a whole nother world in Coke.
Right.
Um, speaking of Coco, what's the one place you go to, both of you guys, when you go back to Hawaii? In Coco side.
The shrimp truck.
Oh.
Whoa, take it easy now. Take it easy now.
No, yeah. I'm hungry. I haven't eaten, so I'm just like, okay.
You know, it's crazy. A lot of people now, lately now, they said that there's another truck that's actually better than Giovanni's.
I heard too.
I haven't tried it though.
One like 2 weeks ago called, I think, the Bald Guy or something like that. And I heard that's way better than the shrimp truck.
Whew.
I feel like I guess I don't know, maybe because like the taste buds have changed as we get older. You know, I didn't know taste buds change every 7 years. I didn't know that, but I feel like the Giovanni's as good as it is, I think it's very very garlicky, like borderline too much garlic. That's just me. I don't know.
Okay.
Because I mean, when we were kids, we just eat anything, right? But now it's like,
No, are you kidding me? Oh,
you were picky as a kid.
okay. Look, listen. No, I was not. I was not allowed to be. Okay, I'm just saying. But my kids, they are picky.
Oh, yeah.
It's bad.
Well, I guess that since we're talking about food, we're gonna do one must go, and I think I did this with Don't worry, Kaleo, you don't have to answer this. This one's specifically for CI.
Thank you.
And and I think I asked the same one to Katarina, but I do wanna know what your answer is, because I don't think I posted it on the video yet. So one must go. Basically, Shai, you've seen the videos before. I gave you 4 choices, and one of them has to go.
Okay.
So the 4 choices, and this is a Samoan food edition. So
Okay.
palusami, oka,
Oh.
sapasui, or falifufai.
Oh. This is probably going to be a very unpopular opinion, but I think Oka.
Wow, no way.
She said it. It happened.
That's basically saying no more poke in the Hawaiian culture.
I know. She said it. It happened. I'm trying not to judge. It's fine.
That's crazy, because I don't know if you've seen see my post on Facebook. We're doing a little Samoan plate fundraiser up here.
Uh-huh.
And one of the things that I'm making is oka Samoa, and I think I've perfected it because
Okay.
I've been practicing, not practicing, but like I've been like making it for Marina and my auntie them, and they were like, bomb,
Nice.
Starr, bomb.
I just feel like all the other ones, like you can't really get it wrong. But with Oka, like it just depends on,
Who makes
who's
it?
making it,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
So
I mean,
that's
with
why.
the yeah. Now that you put it that way, no, because I made fire last night and it's freaking bomb.
Really?
It's so bomb. Oh man. So we're gonna go to another one must go, and you know what? Just real quick then, because I've done it before. Because me and Kaleo, we don't know, we haven't answered it yet, but a lot of people have answered it in our videos. So one
Ugh.
must go. See, one must go. Brother is Kapena, Kelly Rochelle, or Sicilian Cupono.
Dang.
Right?
Wow.
I won't answer this one. Period. Nope.
Kelly Rochelle.
You know, to be
Just read
honest,
that part out next time.
yeah. To be honest, oh man, that's tough. That's a hard pill to swallow. But
That is.
you know what, Kala, I might lean towards the more, the more I think about it, and the more because it's been like almost a month since we've asked that question, and we haven't answered it yet.
I don't care. I'm not answering it. You can't make me.
I think you know what, I'm just gonna answer it just so that you might answer it now or later. But I probably I'm gonna choose Kelly Raisha. Nope. Yeah, that's what I gotta choose. And it's probably because me and Ci are Samoan, and nothing against Hawaiian music.
Okay.
We're
Whatever. Okay.
there's nothing against Hawaiian music. I love it, but
Right.
can't get rid of Brada is. He's the GOAT basically of Hawaiian music.
Yeah.
And then Kapena, they sing very good Samoan songs for our end, so that's why we wouldn't get rid of Kapena. I mean,
Right.
Masese, like even non-Samoans is gonna freaking, you know what I mean?
Yep.
But I mean, Masese is not even a Samoan song. To be honest, it's not a Samoan song. I don't know why we keep claiming that it's a Samoan song. But sorry, okay, I'm talking too much. So, and it's Sicilian Cupono. We already know, like you got that song "Friends" and "About You," like the yeah. But anyways, Kaleo, one day you answer it. One day.
No.
One day.
No.
So ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna get more deeper into what this episode is on. I think we have about maybe 30 minutes. Maybe we'll see how fast we get through it. If we don't, then maybe I will come on for a part 2. I don't know. Maybe
Sure.
maybe you and
more
hubby.
Deeper.
Yes,
I'm sorry.
for sure.
More deeper. I'm sorry. I just more deeper.
Okay. All right. Kaleo, we
Starr.
have a pastor in here.
Okay. And
so ladies and gentlemen, that's why I chose Kaleo as my co-host. So yeah, we're gonna get into these super deep questions, and are you ready, Ci?
Ready.
Kaleo, ready to go?
oh, I'm ready.
So I know you've talked about, obviously the pastor part of your life and how you and husband are, doing that those I guess I don't know what to call it, career field, right? And you guys are in Vegas now, which is, a big reason why you guys moved there.
Yeah.
Along, if you want to add on more to that journey, go ahead and add any little bit more of that journey, and then like also like what inspired you to kind of you know go that route. I know parents and family members had a probably a lot to do with it, right? But maybe on a more deeper level, was there anything else that actually inspired you to kind of actually continue that path?
Well, to be honest, I grew up as a pastor's kid. And so to be transparent, growing up, I always said, I'm never gonna be in church. I'm never gonna be in ministry. I never want to be a pastor. And that stemmed from just different things, I saw my parents go through in the church world, in ministry life. I mean, those who grew up in it, they would know. So that was my whole thing about it, was that I'd never do what my parents did. But of course, when it's something that you grow up in and it's something that's deeply rooted within, just your family and your upbringing, you can run from it as much as you want, but somewhere along the way, you're going to come back to it, and so that's kind of what happened in my journey. After graduating from high school, I actually went to Bible college in Australia, where that's where I told you I saw Megan there. But yeah, I was in Australia for about 3 years, and after I did that, I just really felt it in my heart that that's what God's purpose was for my life, was to come back to, doing ministry. And so anyway, fast forward till now, this is what my husband and I do, and I don't really want to say that it's a career, because I feel like sometimes, in careers, we can leave our career if we want to. We can quit and go find something else to do. But I feel like when it's a calling and you feel purpose to do it, it has a stronger, it just has a stronger hold on your heart, so that's kind of where I'm at in my journey. And that's what inspired me to be here, was really just feeling a calling upon my life to just encourage people and help people, in their spiritual walk. Life is hard, and so sometimes we can't always turn to our careers or turn to family or friends, and sometimes all we have is the faith in us and the hope that we have. And so that's really what I'm most passionate about.
No, you're definitely not wrong. And when I said career, I felt wrong, because like I felt it the same way about you. I wouldn't call it a career. I would call it definitely a calling. And I think growing up, we've called a lot of things callings, or at least tried to find our calling, right?
Right.
And I think I'm almost there to where, for my calling, right? But I mean, we're not talking about me. So let's go back to you, right? So with all of that, like I know you and your husband does pastoring, right, for the church. And has it been his kind of calling too at the same time, or did it come with like kind of you, and then it slowly kind of, I don't know how to say
Well,
it, grew on him? I don't
no,
know.
no, you're fine. Yeah, honestly, he was he went to Utah State and he did football there, graduated from there. And then we actually met in Hawaii. He's originally from California, but we met in Hawaii. Long story, after we got married, I think it was a year after we got married, he was with my dad, and my dad was explaining to him, we're trying to look for a pastor for our campus in Vegas. And out of nowhere, I don't know what possessed him to tell my dad that, oh, we'll do it,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's how my dad was like, wow, really? Okay, so that's how I found out. So it was, but honestly, I knew that coming into ministry, if I was to get married, I told God, okay, if you want me to be in ministry, I pray that you bring someone alongside who that's their passion too, because there's nothing worse than doing something and having a partner who's not on board with it, or, and so that's how it kind of unfolded, was, he had the passion to do it, and that's how we ended up
Well,
here.
that's pretty
Yeah,
cool. Like I guess dad did his recruiting, and
right. Yeah.
that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. It's always, I wouldn't say tough, but it's always, I guess it's a journey, I guess you could say, that to find somebody to find that person, I should call them,
Right.
to be on either the same or a similar path, as you, right?
Right.
So I'm happy for you guys, for real, for real.
It's a
Thank you.
blessing to have something like that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kaleo, you want to hit the next question?
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm just sitting here all like dazed off, just listening.
Huh?
Um, so with all of that, how has your Samoan and Pacific Islander heritage influenced your approach in ministry and spirituality in general? Yes, keep that in there, please.
I think that well, with the Samoan culture, God has always been a part of the upbringing, and there's that saying in the Samoan culture, Samoa mo mo le tua. Really, that means to put God first, and so that has, if you go to any Samoan gathering, any Samoan function, 99%, you will find that they start with prayer and end with prayer, and so I think growing up in a Samoan family that has, faith has always been there, that has really helped in this spiritual walk with God, and it has made it a lot easier. I'm not saying that there hasn't been challenges, separating culture and religion, Christianity. But I think that's the beauty of our culture, is that faith has always been the foundation of everything that we've done, so, and still is. So that's how that has helped me.
I got a hot take stemming off of that answer. And I know a lot of islanders, especially in the Samoan culture, like you mentioned. Yeah, our Samoan culture is very, very religious. We were, upbringing it was I don't know, I don't want to say it, but it was kind of beat into us, right?
Right.
But would you say that, actually, you know what? Let me restructure this. So some Samoans have been saying that it was religion, or Catholicism or Christianity was so forced on them that they don't want to go that route anymore, or their belief kind of, you know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
like, do you think that's true? Like, do you think our ancestors and our parents and our grandparents, like, they, I don't know, maybe went overboard? I don't know. And I feel like it is a hot take, because you are a pastor, and you grew up a pastor's kid, and it's very, what's your perspective on that?
I think that's completely true. I've seen, because I've had friends of, my own and my parents, that was kind of their upbringing as well, where it was something, faith was something that was forced on them, beaten into them. We have this thing, till this day, called White Sunday, and that's where all the kids perform, for the church, and they memorize their scriptures, whatever. And I still hear till this day of adults who still have like nightmares of growing up in church, with White Sunday, because if they didn't learn their scripture, they would get beat, or if they didn't get. So I completely understand that, but I feel like years later, generations later, like anything else, it's so important to change our perspective on these cultural upbringings, in taking a look at these things, and basically saying, okay, does this still work right now in 2023? Because it's different generations, different perspectives, and but I do know, I do have personal friends and my own parents who have experienced that part of church life. Thankfully, I haven't experienced that. I feel like growing up in the ministry, my parents, because they've experienced it, they tried their best not to put that pressure on my siblings and I, where their whole thing was, you build your own relationship with God, whatever that looks like, wherever life takes you, whatever the journey looks like to you. And their hope is that as we come to our own understanding of who God is, that we would get to learn that on our own. So thankfully, I've been blessed to not experience that part of church, but I do know of people who have, so
Right.
yeah.
I think it's tough for a lot of our I guess older generations to I guess me and Kaleo, we said a term the last episode about being stuck in a hamster wheel, right? I think a lot of times our grandparents, especially that generation and maybe further on, they're stuck in that, how things were back then, right?
Right.
So I think you hit it right on the, the what do they say? Right on the head of the nail, right? Where it's really up to us, to change that perspective, right? So
Right.
and I see like other island or Samoan or Polynesian podcasts, and I feel like when they talk about these type of things, I feel like, and I might get heat for it, whoever Polly's out there that might watch this episode, who knows? But I feel like those podcasts, they kind of do more complaining about it instead of maybe trying to talk about maybe solutions or at least a direction to go, right?
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, let's be honest. In the end, it's all about communication with all generations, upcoming, current, and even older generations. Like if you don't communicate about it and say, what's really there as far as what they're feeling about their faith or their spirituality. Why can I not say that word today? Spirituality. Anyways, or the religion, whatever it is, whatever form of religion it may be, then there's going to be that rift in familial status too. Cause like me growing up, it was very much so forced on me. And I still to this day get that, like, where did we go wrong type thing, and I'm like, you didn't go wrong. You still raised a very loving, caring, and spiritual person. And I have absolute hardcore faith. I just might not believe in that particular establishment.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I love I love that you brought that up, Kaleo, just the bridging the gap between the generations, because I think that's one of the most important things, when it comes to religion. Someone once said that what one generation does in moderation, the next generation will do in excess, meaning if we don't take care of this now, then our children, it's going to be their problem. And if they don't take care of it, then it's going to be our children's problem, and we actually have quite a handful of couples that just started coming to our church not too long ago, who they grew up in a more traditional Samoan church, and they left that because of all of the I guess high standards, and you do this or this happens, or you don't do this, and yada yada. And so I see that amongst our Samoan community as well, Starr, that we have young Samoan families who they still want to be a part of the faith, or they want to still believe, but just not the traditional way, because it has so many stipulations, and they just feel they can't grow under that, and so but that's a different subject for a different day. But yeah, to answer your question, I still see people, caught up in that, just old traditional way.
Yeah. And it's not, I don't think it's necessarily, I mean, like you said, we could talk like hours on this, but we're limited, right? But I think I don't want people to think, or at least the newer generations to think, like that was necessarily wrong. That that's not a wrong way. It's just, life is, life changes, right? And us as people, as human beings, we change as life changes, right? And I think the problem or the issue at hand was that our older folks couldn't change with life, basically. So yeah, definitely. We all are on the same page, all three. So, I do want to get to a couple more questions. We are running a little low on time. So, the next question I wanted to touch on because of 2023, and it's been going on for a long time now, and about the gender equality things and this and that or whatever, and males should be doing this, females should be doing that, whatever. So, and I know in the general, I guess the general population, people generally know that pastors or even priests on the Catholic side, that it's male dominated. So with that being said, obviously you're a female pastor, and what are some unique challenges and opportunities that you've encountered as a female pastor, and I guess what are some of your experiences, positive or negative?
I think that, first off, like I said, growing up in ministry, having parents who are pastors, they have parents who are pastors. So for me, I feel like the generations, like I said, this is not everyone's story, but for me personally, I feel like my parents have kind of paved the way for me and my siblings to be able to not feel the weight of those things. But now that my husband and I pastor on our own, in our own campus, I have felt, depending on the circles that we've gone to, like again, the more traditional Samoan circles, I've felt kind of like I had to take the back seat, so to speak, and just allow my husband to kind of lead, which to me was completely fine. I think I've walked into different circles already knowing what to expect, so it wasn't anything that kind of hurt my feelings or whatever. But I think it all goes back to what I talked about, in the beginning, just knowing the calling and knowing the space that God has given me. And if it's not my space, and then I know that I'm not gonna try to go and overpower. But some of the challenges that I've faced as a female pastor is that, just feeling that weight of, okay, a pastor's, or in the Samoan culture, women are not normally pastors. They're just called the falitua. They're just
Faletua.
basically known as the pastor's wife.
Yeah.
Falitua means back house. And so we're basically known as the back, so, but like I said, I haven't felt the direct, weight of that, but I have seen it in certain circles. But I didn't let it affect me, because I just knew that, well, this is the way things are. I'm not going to try to push my way through. So that's how it's been for me.
I feel that. You have any thoughts on that particular subject, Kaleo?
I have lots of thoughts on that. But you know me, I'm a very strong female. So I would be in that realm of, watch out, here I come.
Right.
Yeah, there's a whole episode that we could talk on, just I guess the topic of gender equality and things like that. And
Yeah.
I honestly been holding off on it because I honestly am afraid of the topic. I'm not gonna lie, because
Don't be afraid.
no, it's mainly because I'm a very, and you've known me for a while, Ci, and I don't think I've changed. I think I've been like this my whole life. And Kaleo, you know me for some time now, but I've always been the middle person. So if I wouldn't be on either side, and like every time I have conversations about this particular subject off the screen, like just as a friend circle, like I'm always the oddball out because they're always on this side or the left or the right, and I'm like, I understand that, but I understand this too, but we should be doing this and that. And then they're like, you get out of here, like you don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, all right, go. So that's why I'm like, I'm afraid of the topic, and I don't want to have the wrong people in here, and then now you guys are just gonna hate me. You're like, well, thanks for bringing us together, Starr. So I guess we'll have time for one more. We'll do the last two kind of like merged together. Kaleo, go ahead and ask the second to the last one, and then if you answer it, both of them together, then I'll just won't ask the last question. Cool.
Cool.
The key values and messages.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Don't worry, all of that's gonna get cut out.
No, just keep it all in there.
Fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
You noticed
It's
the last
perfect.
episode, the last episode, I barely made cuts.
I did notice that.
Yeah.
I did.
I think it's because there
good.
was not enough. There wasn't like long gaps in between, like how when we first started.
Right.
Now it's just a smooth sailing. All right.
Yep.
Next question. Sorry.
So, what are some like key values or messages from your faith that resonate strongly with the Pacific Islander community, or specifically within your Samoan community?
I think one of the major ones is honor. You know, the topic of honor and the foundation of honor, honor unto God, honor, you know, for our family. That's really what shapes, you know, it's a big part of what shapes our faith, you know, knowing that there's just this reverence that I feel is in specifically our Samoan community, where people know that when it comes to our faith, there's just that honor that we carry when it comes to faith. And but the major message, I believe, of the Christian faith, which is what I live by, what my husband and I we teach, you know, from the stage every Sunday, is it falls under the one truth that God loves every single one of us, you know, despite our past, despite what we've done. So many people, I feel like the guilt of their past or the guilt of past decisions that they've made really stops them from pursuing a stronger relationship with God, you know, or a stronger walk in their spiritual journey. And so it's the faith that I have is a personal faith, and that's what basically my whole life is built around, is that one truth that I am loved by God and I get to love him back, you know, and that should show through the way that I love people, through the message that I display in my everyday life, you know. So but I would say that it all comes back to honoring the relationship that I have with him. You know, every person who, you know, you guys in your own personal relationships, the relationship grows the more you learn to honor the other person, you know. And so it's the same in my walk with God, that I've learned to honor him as the one who has created me, the one who has, you know, created this purpose that I live out. So that would be the biggest thing that I feel within our Samoan community, that you don't only see it in faith aspect, but you also see it in the family aspect, and, you know, celebrations and funerals and everything that has to do with life. You see the aspect of honor. And I think it's such a beautiful thing.
I love that. Starr.
Oh yes. No, I'm here. I just wasn't sure if you're gonna comment any on that, but I mean, man, you came prepared, sis. No, I mean, definitely not wrong with everything, literally everything you said. I relate to all of that, and I'm sure Kaleo, you can relate to it too. But let's go on with the last question. How do you see the balance between, you know, organized religion? I think this is a hot topic because a lot of people have different perspectives, right? But how do you see the balance between organized religion and personal faith? And like, how does that shape your approach, you know, to your ministry? And I mean, if there's a difference, is there any difference or not, you know?
Well, I think, you know, as far as organized religion, I mean, I could be wrong on this, but the way I look at it, just thinking of the word organized, you know, that there is, you do this and you don't do this, you do this and you don't do that. And I just feel like with anything, when you feel like it's just a list of what you can and cannot do, obviously it becomes very robotic. It becomes very monotonous. You can put your emotions in it if you want. You can, you know, be as vague as you want to if you want. You know, it's almost like when you see a bench that says wet paint, do not sit, you know, right. The humanness in us will, oh, let me go test it out. Let me see if it's really wet, you know, and we just, you know, so I just feel like a whole bunch of religious rules without an actual relationship with God, it turns into rebellion, just like with our children. We tell them, don't do this, don't do that, but they don't feel any kind of love from us. They don't get any kind of quality time with us. You're just looking to raise, a child who wants to just break all the rules,
Right,
and
right.
so for me, it's more of a personal faith, and that's really what we try to teach within our own church. That when you can look at it as a personal relationship with God, it happens on your terms, where you begin to see, okay, what is, for us, it's the Holy Bible. What does the Bible say about this or say about that? And the more you fall in love with God, I feel like it becomes a more personal thing, rather than, oh, I'm a Christian, so I can't do this or I can't do that, and so I think I feel like there is a huge difference between organized religion and personal faith. And I feel like it's completely up to the person, to decide, what do I want to do? Do I want to, follow all these rules to the T? Obviously there's going to come a time in your life when it comes to your personal faith where you decide, okay, this is not working for me. I need to, get better at this or get better at that. But I believe that when it comes down to it, it really comes down to your personal faith, like what Kaleo said earlier. She said, I have a lot of faith, and that's because that's her personal life, where she knows that these are things I've overcome. These are things I've worked through. These are personal things to me. And so none of us would know that unless we took the journey ourselves, and so that's my thoughts on that. Obviously, we can go deeper in that, but I'll leave it there.
That I feel like that topic alone is a very intense and deep conversation,
Yeah.
because so many religions are very organized based, where it
Right.
is the you can do this and you can't do that. And
Right.
I was very much so raised in
Mm.
that kind of a situation. So
Okay.
that's why I get a lot of that. Where did we go wrong?
Mhm.
Right.
So and it's like, well, what do you mean? Where did you go wrong? And that's where that generational gap comes in too,
Yeah.
because then you're just like, oh well, man, I'm screwing up now because now I'm disappointing my parents and I'm disappointing my religion,
Yeah.
not my faith, my religion.
Right.
And that's where it becomes a really hard thing, because in that generational gap, you're made to feel as a younger individual that you're just doing it wrong because you're not
Yeah.
living the way that they're telling you to. And
Yeah.
if you're asking the questions and you're getting told this is just the way it is,
Mm. Yeah.
that's when people fall out of their religion and they fall out of their faith, because it's not being nurtured and it's not being harnessed as the way that individual needs it to be.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I think what we were talking about earlier, CI, about the the I guess the younger generations growing up in the Samoan culture, I think that played a lot into a lot of our generations that been falling out of it, because it felt organized. It felt like exactly what
Right.
you guys were talking about. Like I'm
Yeah.
gonna get salsa on the back of my head, or I'm gonna get kicked out the house, like everything, right?
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, then it just starts with us or the next generation, or just it just starts now, basically. How to
Yep.
Yeah.
change that mindset, right? You guys basically answered my question, my my upcoming question that I wanted to ask, because I am kind of embarrassed to say this to in front of you, CI, but I've said this a few times this year, actually. Long story short, a lot of people know a little bit of my story, of my journey that I've gone through in the past, I don't know, 4 years or so, of like depression, anxiety, and PTSD and stuff like that, and it took me a while to go and get checked out and this and that, and whatever I needed to do to better myself, right? And I, after going to therapy and stuff, I did realize that I I should be going back to I should be going to church, and maybe that that aspect of my life that I've been, I guess, slacking on, maybe I should go back to church and find my way back to faith, And I was, thinking a lot about it, and I was telling myself that I don't. I had I don't know. Maybe I had like an intervention with myself. I don't know what it was, but I was telling myself that, like, all this time that I haven't gone to church, like physically gone to Sunday church or whenever church was service was, it hasn't like hindered my belief in God. It hasn't hindered my personal faith or relationship with God. Like, I still believe in him. I still believe that he is my Lord and Savior. And so it got me really thinking, like, do I need to go to church? You know what I mean? To have that establishment. I mean, yes, it helps, but I think because, my parents and my grandparents, really drilled it into us. I think I had a really good foundation to where, if I miss Sunday church, even if I miss a whole year of going to church, I don't think it has hindered my full faith and my full belief. And so, yeah, I feel like a little embarrassed saying that in front of you, because obviously that means I've missed, going to church a lot of times this year.
Well, somebody, I mean, if I could, somebody had put it this way. I personally wouldn't say that it would. Obviously, I'm an advocate for the church. I encourage people, go to church. You'll get around, if you find the right church, you'll get around people of faith, people who will encourage you. But I heard somebody put it this way. He said, people have asked, do I need to go to church to stay a Christian? But the question is, if you're married, you don't say, I don't need to go home to stay married, but the truth is, stay away from home long enough, you basically won't be married anymore. Your spouse is going to end up, wondering, where are you? What are you doing? So coming home to your spouse every day, it creates that intimacy. It creates that relationship. It keeps you married, basically. And so I guess what he was trying to say was, it's the same thing with church. You get around people who could help you in your faith, that it makes the journey that much easier, and so I wouldn't say you have to go to church to keep your faith, but it's a great place, where you can have a spiritual family. And like I said, but it got to be the right one. You don't, because there's drama in church too. There's a bunch of drama in church too, which is why a lot of people stay away. But you'll never find a perfect church, but you'll find a good one that you can stay encouraged in. So. Yeah, Starr. Hope you find a good church that you can go
I mean,
visit.
it's not that there wasn't a good church. I think, I fall off the bike once in a while, and but I think I've leaned on that, what I told you of, like, I still love my God, and still, but I think you're right. I think you're definitely right about that. That perspective on, like, that totally just changed my whole mindset right now, because it's like, okay, even though I might last a whole year without going to church, it's slowly chipping away, and I don't even know it.
Yeah.
So that, yeah, I'm coming to church on Sunday. Don't worry. And I know if my wife watches this episode, she's gonna be so happy, because she has one of those what our grandparents do to us, and our parents, they have that little guilt look. It's very subtle, but it's there.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's all the questions, and I think this was a great episode. It was very good catching up with you, cousin, or I don't want to say auntie, but I'll just say cousin.
Yes.
Yeah, it was great catching up. It was great seeing, hearing your perspective on, some of these, actually all of these questions. And I know we threw in a couple of random questions, but I think it was a great episode. What do you think, Kaleo?
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely one that could go on for quite some time, because of the depth of everything that is involving religion and faith and everything like that. But it was really good.
Yeah. CI?
Thank you guys. Thank you so much for having me on. I know firsthand that, religion and faith and that topic of even church, something as, shallow as that, as regarding the topic, it can be very tricky sometimes because we live in a time where you say one wrong thing and you flack for it. But
Yeah.
I'm honored that you guys had me on tonight. Thank you so much.
No, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, because honestly, I was nervous to ask you because I wasn't sure, because I was like, damn, he hasn't talked to me in forever, and who knows if he went church or whatever it may be. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like, but no, yeah, we thank you so much for coming through. With that being said, before we do our final outros, I just want to remind everybody that this podcast is sponsored by Okoa Ohana again. Thank you to our sponsor, Okoa Ohana. Check out this nice merch. I want to get the what do you call it? The POG version. Well, not version, but the POG design.
He says this every time and he hasn't done it yet.
Yeah, I know. But it's because I have a lot of stuff going on, you know what I mean? And I wish I had all the money in the world. I was like, oh, give me a shirt.
Don't we all?
No, yeah. Check out their merch at okoahana.com. Go ahead and use the discount code SupaStarrtv for 15% off. And I am working on getting other sponsorships, and I'm learning, Kaleo, that I mean, I'll just mention it after the podcast, but yeah, I'm learning a lot of things, guys. I'm learning. This is a very beginner type of podcast, but we've gotten a lot of good feedback on our episodes and the clips itself, and yeah, hopefully one day this will blow up. If it doesn't blow up, we're still gonna continue doing this because it's not about the views. It's about giving people like CI. And other islanders, platform to just share their story. And I think that in itself is very wealthy, I guess you can say.
It's worth the journey.
Worth the journey, for sure. But yeah, Kaleo, you started off.
Remember to be uniquely. It's the best thing that you could ever do. I'm proud of you for it. It's never too late to ask for help if you need it. And if you have somebody that you love, please make sure that you tell them life is too short.
Yes, sir. Life is too short. And because life is too short, please, I like to tell people, live by the golden rule. Just treat everybody the way that you want to be treated. Because honestly, I think, if we all do that, we would all live in a better world, really. And you have any final words? I know you said some thank yous already, but any final maybe shout outs or something?
Shout out to you guys. I'm looking forward to, the future of this podcast, and keep doing what you're doing. Thank you guys so much.
Sounds good. And super fast question. One must go: Forrest Gump, Home Alone, Godfather, or Jurassic Park?
Jurassic Park.
You gotta choose, Kaleo.
Home Alone.
What? There's no way you just chose Home Alone.
Yes, I did.
And you're doing the pose.
Yep.
So out of all of those, well, at least my opinion, Home Alone is like the GOAT of movies in the 90s. I'd even choose it over Godfather. all right, ladies and gentlemen, that was your fast one must go, super quick answer. So CI said Jurassic Park, Kaleo said Home Alone, and I said see you guys later on the next one.